lever cup intact, and it's the same on that door. You don't run that door. So it's just the one behind and the one beside me. And our good day, it's just the one behind and the one beside me. And our good day, it's from Quick Nova, the 26 at the end of the hall, to Ducktail to Doctor Member. So it's just the one behind and the one beside me. And our good day, it's from Quick Nova, the 26 at the end of the hall, to Ducktail to Doctor Member. So to Ducktail.
You'd hunt a mountain goat kind of after you've done the elk, the mule deer, the caribou, bear, sheep. They're the biggest badass on the mountain, plain and simple. To get to a mountain goat could mean a lot of different things. It could be planes, it could be boats, it can be weather, it could be days of travel, it's crampons on your boots, it could be rope, it could be trekking poles. Like, there's a lot of different things that you need to use and get good at to start going after things like goats. We went down the river a little ways here on that boat, pulled off to the side. This is where we're going to start going up. So we're kind of just consolidating, taking what we need and caching some stuff that we might not need right away. We're going to take 5-6 days worth of food up there, and it's about probably 3-4 hours worth of hiking to get to where the goats start to live. So the idea is this is a tougher area to get into. Ideally, there's going to be an older age class of billy here that we're looking for.
I believe there's been 2 billies taken here in probably the last 10 years. Okay. So it'd be exceptional.
This area in particular of BC has very high goat numbers, very good quality goats for a number of different reasons: mineral, habitat, management strategy, things like that. But what we're looking for here is something old. So
yeah, hike our way up there a few hours, probably camp by a creek for the night, and then move up and deeper to the south end.
So we started seeing some tracks down here and some goat poop. And now we're getting into these little kind of brushy pinches going around the cliffs here. And if you look, there's a goat hair tangled all throughout all these limbs that overhang this trail here. So we got tracks, we got poop, we got the hair. I think the further we get up this draw, the better, obviously. So we're gonna keep moving. So we spotted what we believe to be a goat kind of down on this cliff here. You're gonna see an off-white thing that moved once, but too far away to really tell. And then there's 3 or 4 white dots way up on top here. Again, kind of too far to tell, so we're gonna move up one more little glassy knob and just kind of keep looking down below us, watching for sign. And then this canyon kind of peers around and goes off to the right, so every time we move forward, we'll be able to see further beyond this right corner. Just slowly chipping away at it, kind of picking it apart and putting all the pieces together to figure out what's going on. Just came over this knob. There's a goat right on the top here. Decided to do everything. Came up this little edge here, and there's a nanny and a kid right on the same little rim that we are. And across the canyon from us, probably 1,000 yards, there's a lone goat on the side of the hill. Looks pretty glowing white though, so I don't know if it's a billy or a nanny yet.
He's probably a younger billy, I would say.
Younger billy.
I think so.
Oh wow, look at that though.
He's in a interesting
That's a young one? found two billies on this side, and there's a crag that kind of blocks us from seeing around this corner more. Now that we're right in the crotch of the corner, there's a pile of mountain goats on the side of the hill now. Nannies, kids, billies, all kinds of stuff, just all scattered up and down this hill. Problem is I have no idea how we would ever get to them other than going all the way back down. So it's encouraging to see a bunch of them. I just have no idea how we would retrieve one if we shot one. Where they're standing right now anyway. But it's part of the game. We're gonna kind of keep watching these ones a little bit. Maybe come up a little bit higher onto the spire so we can see on the backside of it a little bit more. And then keep watching it down below us. Because if you look behind me, anywhere, it's just littered with mountain goat fur. I mean, any stick behind me and it's just covered in stuff. So they're clearly on this side as well. We smelled them. We saw the nanny and the kid on this side. But I haven't seen any billies on our side. We got around the little horseshoe in the river here, came through some timber and bumped a nanny and two kids off the top here. And then looking back to where we came from, we thought we could smell a goat about a mile ago. And sure enough, right below the saddle that we were on, there's a lone goat. Can't tell what he is yet because he's still bedded, but now that we've got a little bit more elevation here and we've got a little bit better vantage, we can see that we're in them. There's plenty of goats around here. I think we've seen 17 or 18 goats now. It's just finding an area that we can make a play on them, because basically if they're in this V in front of us, it's no bueno. They have to be up on top, otherwise they're going to roll into the river. So, but thankfully all of their food seems to be up on the tops here, and there's tons of goat sign up here, so I do believe that they will come up. It's just going to be finding one that we're after, and then staying with them long enough that we can make that play. But it's not even a full day one. I mean, we got in here, what, like noon?
Yep.
So we've been at this for 5 hours and in them already, so very encouraging. We're kind of wrapping up the end of day one. Got camp set up, ate some food, got a fire going. We had a big nanny, like a 9-10 inch nanny and a kid, come walking right through camp, kind of stand right on the edge of this rock here, stomping at us. It was pretty cool. So still have this one billy down below us, but there's really no realistic play to get to him. And then we have another goat that we can't really identify that well, about 1,000 yards away from us, maybe a little more. But yeah, just kind of getting settled in for the night. We're gonna work the rest of the way up this rim tomorrow and see what else we turn up. As of now, that's our tentative plan. So, good day one.
Which one did you go with?
That big bastard's still in there. In an impossible spot. Alright, so it's day two, our first full day. Got some sleep, went to bed pretty early last night, everyone was pretty tired. And got up this morning, that one big billy is kind of in the same spot. Relatively unapproachable or unretrievable. Haven't got with a big glass yet to really look over here and see what was behind us. I think the plan is to kind of get camp cleaned up a little bit and then go further up this gulch. The only problem is as we get a little bit higher, we've got a fairly low canopy as far as visibility goes, so we might let this burn off a little bit, keep an eye on the goats that we had in here, and then make our move further up. The other kind of concerning factor that we have is there's no water up here, and it's kind of funny because there's a bunch of water flowing below us here in the cliffs, but no way to get to it. So I think what we're gonna have to do is there's a lake about 2.5 miles that way, and it sounds like we're gonna pick up and kind of move up towards that so we have consistent water. Yeah, right now we're taking tarps and taking paracord and like tying it up to trees so we can catch rainwater to drink right now, and we're only a day into this, so need to find something a little more consistent.
It's looking away from us at the moment, and it's got its head down, but I would say by the size of the body, it's probably like a 4 or 5 year old billy.
I'm here looking at this goat across the canyon. Just heard some rocks falling right below us, so I'm pretty sure that there's goats literally underneath us. We just can't see because it's so steep. So we just made another 200-yard move and kicked up 4 that came right off this point here. So we thought we heard and smelled them earlier, and that proved to be true. We're gonna drop camp, go up and over and get some water. We've seen 5 goats here, another one down here. And if you look down kind of in these little benches below us, you can see tracks and crap and little highways that come up into these cliffs. So what we're kind of assuming is that elevation line that those goats are at over there, we probably have a similar situation below us, and then they're coming up in the evening to feed. So ideally, we set up on them here tonight, can kind of watch all these little chutes, see where they might be moving up on, let them get to the top and set up for a shot where we can shoot them up here and they don't roll down into the bottom. So it's about 11:30 right now. We've probably got 5-6 hours before they really start moving again. But yeah, so we did the kind of hard work in getting in here. Now we're just kind of trying to figure out what the next move is. It's like a young billy, maybe. I think we'll be able to see him once he gets on this rim. He's just poking his head out right now. We just had a pretty good billy come up on this red face here and drop down. He's behind some brush now, we can't see him, but kind of working towards our direction. There's 4 more over on this side that we still have to look at. We haven't seen anything that's come up off of this face yet. We got time, we're gonna be patient. We know the genetics are here. They said it's been many years since people have hunted in this canyon, so we know there's some age class in here too. So that's the biggest thing, is I'm going to be relying on Robin to tell me how old this thing is, because I can count to a degree, but kind of like I learned with sheep 2 years ago, is if you haven't looked at a bunch of them, it's really hard to know what they are. You can have a young billy that's 9.5, 10 inches long, but he's not mature yet. Guys like Robin can figure that out a lot faster than what I can.
You know, the younger billies are going to be super dark horned, and they can be long too. Like even a 3-year-old in here can be 9.5, 10 inches. They've got really good genetics, but we're looking for some really heavy bases. thick, so almost when you're looking at that hairline between his horns, you're not going to see much hair at all. It's basically bases, and the size of his eye to the base of the horn, the bases will be much larger. A younger billy will be a lot thinner horned. But I think this guy's moving our way, so I think
there's another 6 goats that just came up out of the bottom. Nannies and kids, but if you look across there, you might not be able to see them from your angle, but just above the tree line on our side, going up, a pile of goats just came up. So there's a lot of them in here. You were definitely right about this bend being kind of what was holding them. Stout looking nanny. We dropped down into this little saddle, kind of followed the goat trail right on the top of the space. Got into the timber here, and Robin motioned for us to stop. There's these 2 kids and Big Mom and Nanny with them. They're standing kind of on the edge of this little rock outcropping that I feel like if we can get to and look back this way, we can see where that billy went down 5-6 hours ago now. So we're just kind of watching them. The wind's swirling a little bit. They're obviously a little bit agitated, but I don't think they know what we are. I don't think that goats in this basin have ever seen a human being before, because so far every time we've gotten close to one, it's gotten angry at us, not scared of us. So kind of interesting to have that dynamic. It's the end of day 2. We saw a ton of goats today. 2 really nice billies on the far side across the river, completely inaccessible to us, and then 1 billy that came down this little red canyon over here. Lost him in the brush. We saw a nanny, a small billy, and a kid come up out of the brush. We saw a ton of goats today, but moral of the story is that anything that was interesting to shoot was in a unshootable spot. Not necessarily from a shooting perspective, but a recovering perspective. So we're gonna eat some food tonight, get some rest, get up in the morning, kind of go up around this rim and see what we can find on the other side here. I mean, we're seeing goats everywhere. We just gotta find one in a spot we can kill it. Sounds like Charlie's back. He spent the better part of the afternoon hiking to a lake that's really only like a mile, mile and a half from here, but it's just dog hair thick. The same crap that we were coming through to get into here. So big thank you to Charlie, because we would be without water here soon without him. There's a river right in front of us, but we can't get to it because there's cliffs going down to it the whole way, and every spring that we came across is bone dry, so we've all been just kind of barely sipping water. This did come out of a lake, so we're going to have to boil it and really take some precautions to make sure we don't end up with the old beaver fever, but we're able to stay, so that is good.
How'd it go?
It's good. It was fun. It was far away. A lot of ups and downs and creeks and cliffs and yeah.
There was creeks?
Not dried up ones, old ones. I mainly followed the moose trail all the way to the lake. There's a bunch of shit and all that along the way, and then I got up to the very end and there were 2 big sheds right at the end of the trail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cool. I got a video of it. It's pretty neat. Beavers. Saw some loons. About 4 minutes.
They get right under your skin.
There's shit. Look at this. All kinds of microbiomes. we all end up with Giardia, this is the exact moment this happens. We're all in it together, yeah. We've been here before.
I'm hoping I...
All right, we're loaded up for day 3. We're gonna start working the same rim that we worked the last 2 days and take it up a little bit further. This red rock face is where we saw the big billy come down yesterday. So we're gonna try to work up onto the back side of that face and see if we can figure out where he's bedded at. It's day 3, we're excited. We're gonna give it hell to get on that other side, and here we go. All these tracks were here when we took this path back up here last night. So they were either here in the middle of the night or sometime this morning early. But in a nutshell, basically what we're doing is walking this whole rim, looking down over this edge into the cliffs for goats that are bedded or potentially moving up, and then watching in the timber for where they might be feeding. So we made it to that red rock face right here. So this is the trail that Billy came down yesterday, like mid-morning, early afternoon. We're just gonna kind of keep creeping up this rim, peek up on the other side, and just kind of keep moving around this rock and try to locate where he's bedded at, probably down in this cliff somewhere, and try to catch him coming back up to this top. Came up this hill. That big nanny from yesterday and 2 kids are right here. A bunch of rocks are falling. I'm not sure what's happening behind us. Just had 2 big nannies, kids. They're working their way down this bluff right now. And then right behind him, a billy came out. And the nannies that we're seeing are big, like they have long horns. But this is the first close encounter that we've had with a billy. And immediately you can see the difference in structure of their body. They're just a completely different animal. And whipped the rifle out, got set up on him. He was 120 yards right on the top of this cliff. And was ready to do it. Kind of turned and walked off. And from what they're saying, he's a little bit on the young side anyway. So, but plan worked out. We got on one just a little bit too young. We just came up to the top of this knob. We're kind of approaching the back of the draw here, at the head of the basin. We watched countless nannies and kids come up here, and then 2 small billies. One that we were kind of unsure of, but we didn't get a good look at him. There's another billy down in this draw, way down here, about another 1,000 yards or so. But so much more glassable country on this side, and less of a risk of losing them. So if you look, there's like, on all the cliffs, there's a big shale slide below that, and then timber below that. So we don't have the risk of losing something into the river where we can't recover it anymore. So we're gonna kind of dial in here for a little bit, get glassing, and I mean, we have a lot to pick apart here. So we're super optimistic about this spot.
You got her.
Crook right there.
So right on the edge of the drop off, but I think he's got some trees blocking into that. And as hot as it is, I don't think he's going to leave that shady spot now.
No.
So this evening, certainly think we'd have time to close the gap and get a better look at it. The heat waves right now, we just can't.
Do you think if we got to the secondary ridge here, we could get a better, we could probably get a better idea of what he is there? I don't know if we can shoot him from there.
Totally, without committing to going right.
We've only been in this glassing now for like 10 minutes. I've turned up a goat down here, and from 1,000, 1,200 yards away, he looks pretty good. So we're gonna drop another 200-300 yards down this spine and try to get a better look at him, but he's in a great spot, which is a first for this trip.
It looks like he's got some good mass for sure.
First impression I have is mass.
Yeah. I don't know how we get closer though.
So we've got a better look at this Billy now. He's very long, a lot of mass, his bases are touching, we can't see any hair in between his base. He's at 820 yards right now. We're cliffed out where we are, but it kind of looks like we can get up this draw and come down in there with him. The problem is once we leave this, we likely won't have another good vantage of him. So it's kind of either a sniper shot or get up in there with him and have it be very close. The other thing that we're debating right now is we're very low on food and water, and we'd be about 2 miles back from camp, and not an easy 2 miles, to which we're equally as low on food and water there. But there is a coulee in between us that we could potentially hang and cool meat overnight if we wanted to come back lighter or potentially even dry. We're playing every scenario that we can right now. We've got what appears to be a really great Billy in a good killable spot. It's just how are we going to do it? So we're watching this big Billy that's 800 yards away and trying to figure out a plan to get to him. Jordan comes around this point. There's a big man here on the side of this cliff. And just below us, so 60 yards, is a big Billy bedded down. We're trying to figure out if we can take a shot at him where he's at, if he's going to fall or what he's going to do. Ideally, if he came back up here in the evening, I'd feel better about it, but Rob's peeking around the corner here to see if there's a flat spot that he might stop at. It's kind of a tense deal right now. It looks like if we anchor him right there, I think we have enough room we can rappel down to him. But if he does roll and end up in the shale slide, there's a big bench there that we can probably get to. Everything, I mean, we can get to him, it's just how we can get to him. There we go. again?
Yeah.
Hit him again, yes or no?
One more.
There he goes. Here he is right here. He stopped right there. Shoot, that was awesome. Now how the hell did we get to him?
Check off and around.
Come here. We got a goat down. Way down.
4:11 now? I think it'll be more like 10:11 when we start going back out of here.
Yeah. Found him. Came over through this big shale field and popped right over the edge. He's laying dead right there. Alright, we're starting our way out of here. Everyone's pretty hungry, very dehydrated. We're all but like a sip away from being out of water. And we got like a mile-ish to camp, but it's not a fun mile. It's either loose rocky crap or thick thorny jungle. So, but obviously very happy and thankful, but this part is like the good kind of suck, where right now it sucks. Being dehydrated sucks, but we'll remember it fondly in a day or two. But that's your update. That's about as good as I can show it. We need water. Really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Look, tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah. No need for the snoozing. Big whip outside, I'm cruising. Big stick inside, no losing. Better watch out for the snake and Judas is. Don't ask them who this is. I bet they know what I'm moving in. I bet I show it into a them. How you hating then lose again? How you hating my vibes? Why you wasting my time? Getting hype on my line. Tell a man I don't want feedback, I just want relax. Brand new whip, two-tone, I need that brand new hit. You know, like lean back, brand new bits I live in. We pack, man, you never gon' like us. Get them on sight now, let them on light. That way they know I'm more righteous. Look at my life, I'm living alright. I'm nice, you know I'm alright. Looking like Christ, no need for the hype or fight or telephone vibe.
Pretty good ram.
No need for the telephone vibers. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence, watch it. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence. Yeah, me, I'm moving quiet. Ask me, I need an island. New watch is perfect timing. No need for the surface shining. Ask me, I need me a few. I need me an island, I'm keeping it true. The man, I'm a wild, I'm keeping it cool. No need for the telephone hype from you. Yeah. Tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man
Coming down hill,
no need for the telephone hype.
80 yards in front of us. Bear stood up on his hind legs and walked down and draw here. I don't see it now.
Let's just see if we can sneak on out of here.
Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule and then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype.
We made it. We're at the boat now, eating all the snacks that we didn't take with us. Filling our guts back up, feeling alive again. But we made it. We have to go down here. We're gonna take a boat ride and start cutting up meat. That's it.